You gotta love all your favourite shows, right here on 7.
This is 7 News.
Tonight, new developments in the Corryn Rainey case. Claims she was not murdered.
A deaf couple too scared to live in their home after being targeted by robbers.
The new shark spotting plane that doesn't need a pilot.
And Logies scandal, a technical glitch blamed for an online leak.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Ardon and Susannah Carr.
Good evening. New details have emerged in the case against Perth barrister Loyd Rainey, who's accused of killing his wife Corryn. Defence lawyers have cast doubt over the circumstances of how Mrs Rainey died and if she was even murdered at all. Emmy Kubainski reports.
Loyd Rainey has always maintained he didn't kill his wife Corryn. Today, his lawyers raised doubts over whether the mother of two had actually been murdered. Defence lawyer David Edwardson said there's significant debate over the cause of her death and how she ultimately died. Loyd Rainey's lawyers also claimed the police investigation was focused in one direction and someone else committed the crime. Corryn Rainey, a Supreme Court registrar and mother of two, vanished in August 2007. Her body was found less than a fortnight later, buried in Kings Park. Loyd Rainey was arrested 16 months ago and charged with his wife's murder, a crime he's always maintained he didn't commit. Today's hearing was meant to be another step in the legal process, deciding which evidence could be used at trial, but his lawyers applied to have that trial adjourned. Loyd Rainey's murder trial was meant to start next month, but after today's application to have it delayed, it's now been set down for mid-July.
Are you relieved by the adjournment?
Most definitely.
Emmy Kubainski, 7 News.
A profoundly deaf elderly couple say they're too terrified to stay in their Coolungup house after being burgled while they were home. It's the second time burglars have targeted the great-grandparents' home.
Bill and Nita are profoundly deaf. They didn't hear an intruder sneak into their Coolungup home.
Dad's just saying that he must have known that they were deaf.
84-year-old Bill was gardening. He decided to have a break and check on his 80-year-old wife. He went inside, coming face to face with the intruder.
But Dad was pretty shook up in that afterwards and took a while, and they've had a sleepless night.
The man grabbed Bill's wallet and Nita's handbag and fled. The great-grandparents had just celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary. This is the second time Bill and Nita have been targeted by thieves here. Now they say they're too afraid to keep living in the house that they've called home for the past 20 years.
He doesn't want to face another incident. Yeah. The best way to go to somewhere safer.
They've been there for years, so it's a shame they have to be frightened out of their own homes.
The couple has a message for a good Samaritan who was passing by and helped them raise the alarm. Thank you. Alison Hembrough, 7 News.
2 police officers who repeatedly used a stun gun on a prisoner could face charges. The Corruption and Crime Commission found the officers used undue and excessive force when they zapped Kevin Spratt at the Perth Watch House. The Police Commissioner says the 2 officers deserve to keep their jobs.
Kevin Spratt was zapped by Senior Constables Troy Tomlin and Aaron Strachan 9 times in just over 90 seconds. Another 5 times in another room. The Corruption and Crime Commission says the 2 officers used undue and excessive force, which was unreasonable and unjustified. It's recommended the Director of Public Prosecutions look at possible charges.
There's no black mark against their names at all. I don't even know what the DPP are going to recommend yet.
The Director of Public Prosecutions can't lay any charges himself. What he can do is recommend to police or the Corruption and Crime Commission that there's a strong enough case against them. Only then would the 2 officers face the justice system. The 2 officers were fined after an internal investigation. The CCC claims was flawed.
If you're a public officer in the police department, you are less accountable than if you are a public officer serving in any other branch of the public service. That's the message that the Commissioner of Police is sending out.
Lay still and we won't do it again.
Kevin Spratt was also zapped by corrective services officers a week later. Kevin Spratt's in jail now over another matter, threatening a police officer last year. Through his lawyer today, Mr Spratt says he's pleased the case has been recommended to the DPP, but he's disappointed no adverse findings were made against any of the Department of Corrective Services officers. Kevin Spratt says he'll now make a formal application for compensation. Blake Johnson, 7 News.
A Pinjarra man has been arrested in America after allegedly flying there to have sex with a 15-year-old girl he'd met on the internet. 33-year-old Jeffrey Hine was taken into custody on Saturday as he stepped off a plane at Atlanta Airport. The mine worker is now facing child molestation and pornography charges.
A trip to the shops could cost even more under a plan to charge drivers to park at Perth shopping centres. The state government says which shopping centres charge will be up to councils. Retailers have labelled the idea a nightmare. Sally Bowrey reports.
Is free parking a thing of the past? That's the state government's new idea, part of a push to get people to use public transport.
No public transport where we live to get here.
One of the first spots where shoppers might have to pay to park is Innaloo Shopping Centre.
It'll cost me more to take 4 children myself by public transport.
It's just impractical, I think. Like if you're carrying 10 bags of shopping, you're not going to go onto public transport to do it. You're going to want to put it in your car and go home straight away.
Areas where free parking could be phased out include Sir Charles Gardner, Stirling, including the Innaloo shops, Bentley, Midland and Murdoch. The state government says it will be up to local councils to decide which shopping centres charge. The idea also pushes for a cap on the number of parking bays.
I don't expect that it will be made mandatory. Parking is a responsibility of local governments.
For now, it's simply a discussion, says the state government, one retailers say they've been left out of.
Yes, it just adds to the nightmare that's out there at the moment.
Sally Bowrey, 7 News.
West Australian engineers have developed a flying robot which could help reduce the number of shark attacks on our beaches. The unmanned machine uses a heat-sensitive camera to spot great whites. The designers say it's cheaper and more accurate than the current shark patrols. Tracy Moran reports.
No pilot in sight, this plane flies itself. It's taking off in search of sharks. It's a cyber eye in the sky, built-in thermal and daylight cameras specially designed to spot the world's deadliest sharks.
How much more accurate is it, say, than a human doing the job?
Significantly. It's like a human with binoculars.
In the past 7 months, 4 people have been killed by sharks on the WA coast. The Perth-based designers are pitching it to the state government as a cheaper way to monitor our long coastline. 25-year-old Xavier Orr programs the robot brain. He writes complicated mathematic equations to keep it flying and searching for sharks.
All right, so this is the brain.
Yes, this is the computer that controls these aircraft.
And this is what drives it?
Yeah, this is the algorithm that runs on here to control these aircraft.
The thermal imaging cameras pick up the heat from great whites. The footage is streamed live to a control centre.
You control the aircraft by moving these dots around that we call waypoints. This is similar to operating a video game.
When a shark is sighted, the plane goes in for a closer look.
While a regular chopper burns hundreds of dollars worth of fuel an hour, the Cyber Eye can run for 10 hours on just $25 worth of petrol.
And the cost compared to a full-size aircraft is, well, yeah, there's no comparison.
A flying computer with the potential to save lives. Tracy Moran, 7 News.
A war of words has erupted between Mick Malthouse and Eddie Maguire. The Collingwood president hit back at his former coach today, declaring he has no friends left at the club after Malthouse criticised new coach Nathan Buckley and the players.
Friends of Molly Meldrum say he's deeply touched after being inducted into the Logies Hall of Fame. The music guru was honoured by Australia's television industry during an awards ceremony in which the winner of the Gold Logie was leaked online.
The TV Week Gold Logie goes to, and I just want to Twitter it before I read it out.
But the secret was already out. A Herald Sun story naming Hamish Blake as the winner appeared online 2 hours before the official announcement. The papers blaming a technical glitch, but that didn't save their reporters from being thrown out of the media room. The gold Logie disappeared too at the after party. The Seven Network won 5 Logies, 1 for most popular lifestyle show, and 4 more for actors from Home and Away, Packed to the Rafters and Winners and Losers.
And it took me a second, I just went, oh, me, oh, right, okay, good.
Rarely one to miss a party, Molly Meldrum, still recovering from that near-fatal fall, was inducted into the Logies Hall of Fame.
I know he will be humbled to receive such a special honour as inductee to the Logies Hall of Fame, among the greats where he belongs.
The Meldrum family said it was a great lift to his spirits, the happiest night Molly's had for some time. Dean Felton, 7 News.
And up next on 7 News, more money for mums heading back to work.
Plus, deadly twisters. Children among the victims of America's tornado terror.
And find out why this stolen penguin has happy feet.
Hello, Natalia Cooper with you. The past few days have been lovely and tomorrow we can look forward to more sunshine ahead of a shower or two on Wednesday. Currently in the city it's a touch under 21 and humidity sitting at 66%, winds are from the southwest at 7 kilometres an hour. Around 1 this afternoon we hit a top of 26.1. Our overnight low was a touch under 13 degrees and we've had 18 millimetres of rain so far this April. Normally we get 43 for the month, so hopefully we'll see some decent falls in the next couple of weeks. Now let's look around the metro area. Temperatures were again in the mid-20s and they'll be much the same tomorrow. Around WA today, there were isolated showers and storms in central inland parts of the north and also some isolated showers on the coast between Busselton and Albany. Tomorrow, showers south of a line from Perth to Albany, an afternoon storm risk in Kalgoorlie and it's looking good in the north. Over to the satellite, and those showers in the southwest tomorrow will be due to an approaching cold front. That front will then move through on Wednesday and that's what will bring the showers to Perth. Looking interstate for tomorrow, Melbourne will get some morning fog ahead of a fine day, raining in Sydney and possibly stormy in Brisbane. On Perth waters tomorrow, west to northwest winds 8 to 13 knots all day, seas to ½ metre and swell to 2 metres. So down to about 14 degrees tonight, then tomorrow partly cloudy and 26. We're going to get a shower or two on Wednesday, a top of 25, an early shower in coastal parts on Thursday, but then it'll fine up again in time for the weekend. Next weekend looking very similar to the one we've just had. Gorgeous sunshine and tops in the mid-20s. And that's all from me. Here are Rick and Sue.
Thanks, Natalia. That's all from the 7 News team.
We'll have updates for you a little later. Now, here's Monica with Today Tonight.